Hello, my name's Alexis Jones, and today I will be talking about Kate Chopin's The Awakening. The first question I will be talking about is, why does Edna do what she does? I believe she does what she does at the end, which is her walking into the ocean, and she just essentially commits suicide. She does this because she just finally fully awakening, as the book title hints at. And she just finally realizes her life she isn't living it the way she wanted to, and it's not going the way that she wants it to go, and she just couldn't do it anymore. This begins in the beginning by her interactions and the things that happens with the people around her, and she just finally starts being more open about who she is. You can tell that she just wasn't happy with the things that she was thinking. A quote in the book: "Even as a child, she had lived her own small life all within herself. At a very early period, she had apprehended instinctively the dual life, that outward existence which conforms, the inward life that questions." So that just shows that even at a young age, she was questioning her life, and she lived it how other people wanted her to do at that time, which was to be a stay-at-home mom. They didn't own much. They had little rats in the eyes of men. As the story progressed, she is slowly learning what she really likes to do, which is painting. She starts having more experiences, starts stepping up to people more, and just says her opinions. And I believe the people in this book that most influenced her was Robert and Mademoiselle Lise. Robert, she falls in love with. They have a point in the book where they're going a lot of different places, just sitting and talking, and he kind of helps her realize that this is not the life that she wants. And she tells most of this to Mademoiselle Lise, and Lise just helps her realize more deeply who she is, who she wants to be. These instances with these two people just help her become even more aware of who she is. And then Robert leaves her, which I think this is the biggest reason why she starts becoming even more rebellious in a way, and lets people know her opinions. She moves out. Just a lot of different things happens that makes you realize that she just is finally becoming who she wants to be. And by the end, Robert comes back, but he doesn't want to be with her, feels like it'll be too much. And so he says, "Goodbye, because I love you." And I believe this really just turned the tides for her, because she still thought maybe she had a chance. And she just knew her life wouldn't be what she wanted, so she goes back down to the ocean and just essentially walks in it and doesn't come back out. The second question I will be talking about is, what does this exactly symbolize? I believe this symbolizes suicide. She knew her life wasn't what she wanted it to be. Things are looking really black and gray. I also think this symbolizes just the way her life was going. She just knew she didn't want to do it anymore. A quote from right before she walks in the ocean: "How strange and awful it seemed to stand naked under the sky. How delicious. She felt like some newborn opening its eyes in a familiar world it has never known." And this just kind of shows that she just felt reborn almost, that she was finally opening her eyes and just felt like she didn't belong. Her very last thoughts were, "Goodbye, because I love you." And I believe this just shows how much Robert really impacted her. I believe the importance of Kate Chopin's The Awakening is mainly just to open our eyes. Are we living the life that we want to be living? Are we living up to our own standards? or are we living our life for how other people want us to live? And I believe this story almost shows depression. Because if you read the whole book, throughout the whole thing, even in the very beginning, she was just happy one next and just content, trying to be content in her life. And then the next, she just, you could tell she just was not happy. And I have this quote: "There were days when she was unhappy. She did not know why. When it did not seem worthwhile to be glad or sorry, to be alive or dead. When life appeared to her like a grotesque pandemonium, and humanity like worms struggling blindly toward inevitable annihilation." And before this, it was talking about days where she was just happy. She'd be doing her hobbies and just having a good time, going out in the city. And then this, it says that she would just stay home. She wouldn't do these things. And I believe this shows that she might have had depression. She just realized her life, in this awakening process, she realized her life just wasn't how she wanted it. And that's why she eventually committed suicide. The last question is this book romanticism or realism? And I believe, honestly, that this book is both, because while it has some facts and things like that, it also has a lot of emotions that Edna goes through with Robert, especially, and Madame Leaise. Especially with all the two affairs she had, that was very romantic. The process of her awakening was very romanticistic, and she was having a lot of different emotions at the time, and you just go through those things with her. But it's also realism, because there was characters in the book that just had a very realistic view on things. It was this and not that kind of thing. Pontelli and Madame Ragnoli are the most realistic in this story, while most of the other ones were very romanticistic.